Hope you're all doing well. Happy Thursday. And I hope you're ready to answer today's big question. First, however, we have our ordering do now to get done. So here are the 5 events that I would like you to order, from number 1 being the first thing that happens in the text to number 5 being the last thing that happens. Off you go. So hopefully that's given you a chance to have a look at these. Grab your different coloured pen or pencil and let's have a look. So number 1, I think it's in the first sentence. Danny's mother dies, he passes away. Number 2, Danny explained he had no siblings. Third thing to happen, of course, is that his father changed his nappies. Number 4, Danny enjoyed the noise the cash register made. And then finally, Danny describes his house and home. So hopefully you managed to get all of those correct. Let's have a look at this week's big question, which is, drumroll please. Does Danny lead a good life? So have a little think about which you think that's going to be. Does Danny lead a good life? Meaning, is he happy or is he unhappy? So while you're thinking about that, what I'd like you to do is, could you please, if you've got the sheet, then there's nothing you need to do as the table's already been drawn for you. If, like me, you want to do it on a bit of paper, can you please draw a table, just split your page in 2, one side, yes, the other side, no. With the big question at the top, does Danny lead a good life? Pause that video now. Okay, so hopefully you have either some sort of table in front of you, either on the sheet or in your books. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to find any facts for yes or no. And just to make things really clear, anything that I think is a yes fact, that Danny does have a good life, I'm going to highlight in green. If I think it's a no, I'm going to highlight it in pink, just to make it crystal clear. So if you want to do it in 2 different pens or pencils, that's fine. So when I was 4 months old, my father and mother died suddenly, and my mother died suddenly, and my father was left to look after me all by himself. This is how I looked at the time. I had no brothers or sisters. So all through my boyhood, from the age of 4 months onwards, there was just the 2 of us, my father and me. Right. So a couple of things to digest there from the first couple of paragraphs. So clearly there's a big no there, that he doesn't lead a happy life. It says it says my mother died suddenly. So under no, his mum died when he was young. So there's our first fact. Do we have anything else there? Well, I think we do. It says here that I had no brothers or sisters. Now, some of you may have brothers or sisters and think, wow, that sounds like an incredibly good thing. I'd love to be an only child. Some of you might think that that sounds awful, not having any. So that's sort of down to personal preference. I've got 2 brothers who personally I love having around. So I'm going to say that not having any brothers and sisters will go under a no. Not that it's necessary, not that it's a bad thing at all. It just means that maybe if his mother's not in the picture, not having any brothers and sisters, it might be a bit lonely. So I'm going to put under no again. He had no brothers or sisters. So far 2 reasons for no. What I'd like you to do, well, I'm going to read through it, and we're going to see if we can find maybe some yes reasons or any other no reasons as well in these 2 paragraphs. So let's go through together. We lived in an old gypsy caravan behind a filling station. My father owned the filling station and the caravan and the small field behind it, but that was about all he owned in the world. It was a very small filling station on a small country road surrounded by fields and woody hills. While I was still a baby, my father washed me and fed me and changed my nappies and did all the millions of other things a mother normally does for her child. That is not an easy task for a man, especially when he has to earn his living at the same time by repairing motor car engines and serving customers with petrol. So pause the video now, and this time I want you to go through these 2 paragraphs and come up with some reasons in your table, either for yes or for no. I'll leave that on the screen for you there. Off you go. So, hopefully you've had a chance to look at this, and you've got lots of information in your tables. I think there are loads of reasons down here. So, for the purpose of balance, we've got 2 no's. I'm going to go for a yes reason that I can definitely see. So, he lives and works on a country road surrounded by fields and woody hills. Now, I think that would be lovely. He lives in the middle of the country, loads of space to run around, and he even owns a small field. So, I'm going to say, so he lives in the countryside with loads of space. Feel free to write these as well. Okay, are there any other reasons there? So, it says that he lived in an old gypsy caravan behind the filling station. So again, this is sort of down to opinion. You might think that sounds really, really lovely. It's kind of quite romantic, living in such a sort of beautiful setting in a caravan. You might think, actually, no, it's quite claustrophobic, fitting 2 people in a small caravan, and also behind a filling station. You might get the smell of petrol and things. I'm probably going to lean towards the no side there, thinking that that doesn't necessarily mean he leads a great life. So, lived in an old gypsy caravan behind a filling station. So I'm going to say no. He lives behind a filling station. And I think that's going to get not only smell pretty awful, but also it could be quite busy with loads of cars going past and lots of loud noises. So he lives behind a filling station. So I'm going to say that equals noisy and smelly. Okay, so I've done my bit. I'm now leading it all up to you. If there are points that you want to steal from this, absolutely please do. And then if you would like to next go through these final pages, so page 2, page 3, and page 4, and collect any other facts so that your table is brimming full of loads and loads of information. Okay, so can you please go through the final 3 pages and fill in your table? Off you go. So, hopefully that's given you a chance to collect some information. Let's have a look at some reasons that I got. So, yes, his father took good care of him and did what a mother traditionally did. Absolutely, he's got a really, really caring father who lavished him with love. It says that he never had a moment's unhappiness or illness, which surely is a massive reason for saying, yes, he does lead a good life. He helped his dad with work. So again, it means that he's involved with his dad's life. It means they obviously have a really close bond as well. And then reasons for no. His mother died suddenly when he was only 4 months old. He had no brothers or sisters to play with. He was quite poor and didn't have many things. But I'm sure you've got loads and loads of other reasons for both sections. So I've written an example big question to Danny. Does Danny lead a good life? So let's have a look. It is my belief. My apologies, a mistake straight off the bat. It is my belief that Danny did lead a good life because he was well looked after. Firstly, in the text, it states, my word, Mr. Parker. During my early years, I've never had a moment's never had a moment's unhappiness. I really apologize. This is not good enough. Unhappiness or illness, which shows that his life at the beginning was great. Moreover, in the text, it also talks about his dad lavishing all his love on him, which shows he really cared for him and showed it. Lastly, you know his father cared for him greatly because he did all the things his mother would normally have done had she still been alive. Conversely, which means on the other hand, you could argue that Danny did not have a good life because, and then that's where you guys can finish that off. So you have loads and loads of great vocab there that you can use, some really good fronted verbals and sentence starters. You can see that I've taken a nice quote from the text. At this stage, you guys are really, really good at answering your big questions. Make sure, however, you are not listing, which sometimes I see, saying, I don't think he had a good life because his mum died, he had no brothers or sisters, he lives behind a filling station. You need to link it back to the question. So it's really important you do that. Right. Best of luck, guys. Pause the video now, finish your, write your big question, and then come back to the video when you're done. Off you go. So guys, hopefully that is, you have written your big question. Cannot wait to read them. It's been really, really fun looking at Danny, the champion of the world. I would recommend it to anyone who likes Roald Dahl or any of those kind of books. It's a lot of fun. I will see you I will see you on Monday for reading, of course, because you've got reading with Miss Franklin tomorrow. So have a wonderful rest of your days home learning, and I look forward to seeing you later. Bye-bye.